What is the future utopia that you hope for? And what is the future dystopia that makes you anxious?
तो हमारे वहाँ पे माजुली में तो मेनली जो चैलेंजेस है वो है फ्लड एंड इरोशन, और इसी फ्लड और इरोशन की वजह से हम एजुकेशन में भी बहुत पीछे है, हेल्थ इश्यूज भी है, बहुत सारा कम्युनिकेशन है, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट प्रॉब्लम्स है।
ज़्यादातर हमारे वहाँ इंडस्ट्री आने से क्या है, खेती लायक ज़मीन होती है, वहाँ पे खेती लायक नहीं हो सकती।
What is the role of young people, and where do young people need to be seen, heard, and understood, and where they need to participate so that we can imagine a more equitable future.
Over the last 2 decades or so, I think 2 questions that have been at the center of our inquiry at Quest. One is, how do we give young people more confidence and agency to navigate their own paths? The second is, how do we do it collaboratively?
I think when we start talking about future literacy, we have to think about how do we get to the point where a young person has the agency to be able to think about that.
Should we be looking at futures literacy as another life skill?
The idea of futures literacy is to make people aware that you can anticipate the future consciously.
So of course there's a default future. There might be even a predicted future, a future that the trends and the data will tell you that this future is happening. But what is the future that you want?
We are looking at development and addressing the issue of climate change in tandem. Now, one cannot go without the other, because you're practically going to be derailing development if you do not address the larger issue of climate change.
It also is essential that there is an ecosystem that enables such solutions to work. We have been listening since yesterday that we're talking about values, we're talking about inclusion, we are talking about equitability, equity, and those are very, very, I think, foundational principles of how a society functions.
Now, looking at India as a country, you are talking about some 26.5 crore students that are in schools. Then you're talking about some 3.5 to 4 crore people that are in colleges, UG and PG. To encourage and sensitize more and more youth to take up AI and all the programs in the future and emerging technologies, etc. So weaving it, more than integrating it, I would say embedding it as part of the regular curriculum is something that one needs to look at.
Educators should not be looking at it as AI threatening their jobs, but instead looking at it as something which will empower them to perform their job better.
We need a lot more focus on enabling and empowering young people who are able to resolve these problems a lot quicker. People from within communities who are able to see and experience these challenges a lot better are probably the best solutions for those problems as well.
So I think it's easy to do once you're able to align everyone again on the community themselves. And I say that because you realize, number one, given the vastness and the diversity of the community, as we just spoke about, and the lack of equity and the increased privilege many of us have had, it can't be one solution fits all.
You know, it's possible to actually change the present by using the future as a lens to reframe our ways of knowing climate change, our ways of knowing poverty, social contracts, legal things, among other things. This is something that you can actually apply.
So the idea behind Quest2Learn is to bring all the different stakeholders who are part of the Quest ecosystem together for dialogue, for conversations, to engage in new ideas. It's also a way for us to kind of introduce new voices into the ecosystem. The reason behind doing something like Quest2Learn is, one, to kind of reinforce the idea of the community and the diversity that is present within the community. Also to kind of bring together the different perspectives. So while we talk about new ideas and future aspirations, it also helps us kind of be grounded in the everyday experiences of our communities and the young people that they are going through.